let's just kick it off with this shameless plug of Joy Dog Food.
I can't buy it where I'm at.
No,
Mm-mm.
Jerry,
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
man, I swear to God, your name started with an S, and I'm going through my phone. I couldn't. I never said I was smart.
I'm not technologically advanced either.
Jimmy says, I'll start it off. The reasons I feed Joy dog food. They never had a recall. The owner gives his personal phone number if any problem. They are probably the biggest sponsor of hunts in my area. So is it Joy dog food that also it's the same plant that makes there's another brand you can get like at Tractor Supply and stuff, I believe. I'm echoing.
I don't think so.
Am I echoing?
I do hear an echo, but I don't know who it is.
Oh, wait. I wonder if my other mic's on. Hang on. It's probably me. Default microphone. Let me go to my other thing here. Well, I don't see nothing. I don't know why.
There's it gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, it might have. Oh, was it him?
Maybe.
Was it Jerry? Can you hear? Is it echoing now?
I don't hear it echoing.
Ah, well. It's better to say it twice. So, I don't remember which one it is. I believe there's another because I was interested in Joy, and when I looked it up or I called somebody, they said there's another brand out there. I couldn't even tell you what it is now. That was a couple years ago, and I started feeding Value Pack. But what do you say here? I'm not going. I like Diamond. So I don't think it's bad to swap dog food around. We eat different things every day. I think if you're going to do it, you have to kind of mix it in together as you're switching bags. But if you notice, if you swap dog food, sometimes them dogs will eat better. You know, my little puppies, puppy chow, the little puppies I got right now, they eat all the little red pieces first. I don't know why. It tastes better. Retarded. I shut the phone off. I'm not going to say nothing about Wayne, but I think it's all right I think you should kind of change dog food up a little bit because I've noticed sometimes if you feed a dog food over and over and over, they'll start losing weight or they'll start doing something different. So I don't know. I'm no expert.
See how mine are fat.
What are you feeding them?
That black bag Value Pack.
So in the summers I feed. Wait, what's the black?
That's the grain-free, the high protein.
Yeah, and then the red is, so I'll feed red. But I also like retriever as well. And they had a recall back in the day, and you know, that dude, right, who was that said that they had never had a recall. And if you listen to those guys about that Joy dog food, they sound pretty legit and they pay attention to what they're doing.
That's all my daddy fed was Joy maintenance or special meal. Joy special meal, the yellow and green bag.
Mm-hmm. And I used to feed old Roy, and my dogs never. If I was running hard, I fed more. I didn't care if they shit a lot. I didn't really pay attention to it because that's just what I started with, you know. And shit, that stuff was $15 a bag, $20 a bag for a 50-pound bag. But I also didn't just feed that. I fed rice and chicken but I knew a guy, Cody King.
What are you doing,
I knew a guy who went around to all the restaurants, got all the scraps, and kept his dogs alive with scraps. You know?
What you all dutied up for, Cody?
Shit, I'm not dutied up. I'm in Wisconsin, man, on the Wisconsin River.
He's showing off.
Yeah.
Look on them clouds too. I wish we had clouds.
Oh man, it came a hell of a storm today. I walked to a restaurant about a mile away, and I got about halfway back to the hotel, and the damn hailstorm hit.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, there goes phone call. That's what it was. That's what it is. High standard. And I think Tractor Supply sells high standard.
Yeah, depending on where you're at. I think Tractor Supply and some of those big feed stores, it all just depends on the demand. They're all can be dealers for it, but whether they carry it completely is a different story.
Yeah.
Like I was in my Tractor Supply, which is where normally, I mean, for the last little while I've been feeding Diamond. But I was in there and they had a stack of like 12 bags of black gold that they had marked down because a guy had ordered it, but it had like white powder on the bag, so they couldn't charge full price for it. So I got black gold for $20 a bag.
Oh, it's so great when you get those.
I bought everything they would sell me.
Dustin went in there the next week with flour.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it all over everything. But so I bought what I could because I've fed it in the past. I think it's an okay feed as far as what I like. But right now I'm in the off season, so a $20 bag of decent dog food for me. That's money, for the off season. I'm not spending a little more to feed dogs while I'm not hunting per se. I'm still
Coyotes don't take that much energy. You're all right.
No, well, I mean, and I'm one. I really struggle to let my dogs get out of shape.
Yeah.
Somewhat. They're not going to be in like awesome shape, but right now I'm still roading them.
Rounds of shape, Dustin.
What's that?
Rounds of shape.
That's what you, me, and Chris got going on. I can't say that for.
I got a couple dogs that are like that too.
Personally enough to make fun of him, but
no. I used to be round. Now I'm rounder, I think.
Yeah, but my dogs, I struggle to not keep them moving. And honestly, I mean, in the off season, that's when they get obnoxious if they're not getting exercised. So 3 times a week, I'm going 8 to 10 miles.
And it's different. Roading a dog, just roading them, is way different than being out in the hills. Just like when you can go run all day long down your road and back. But so before bear season, I would go to the gym and get on a treadmill, and it helps. But then I went to the gym, and they had the stairs, the ladder that you walk up. That thing made a way better difference. I felt the difference.
It's huge for sure, but I think roading, no matter what, is getting them out and tiring them a little bit, but it's also keeping their feet somewhat conditioned instead of sitting in a kennel. No matter what you kennel them on, whether it's gravel, concrete, dirt, whatever, if they're sitting and not getting out, their feet are getting soft.
Yep.
And the first big race you have, you're going to have
ripped
holes in your dog's feet, and then you're going to be, depending on the dog and how big of a blown pad it is, it could be out for weeks trying to heal that blown pad, especially if it's a dog that's a little softer and won't run with a blown pad. I have a young dog right now. It don't matter how many holes he has in these pads, he's going to go. Yeah. And those holes are going to come back bigger, and the next time he's going to go again unless I physically don't take him. So I don't know. I think letting dogs sit can be I mean, it's hard. If you can't hunt for 6 months out of the year, it's hard not to let them sit a little more. But I spend so much time with them that I got to road them. I got to go do something with them. Even whether I'm hiking and not hunting, but just hiking with them, going and doing whatever, they're going to put on a hell of a lot more miles than I ever do.
Oh, yeah.
but I do try to road them 8 to 10 miles with the truck, making them run 2 to 3 times.
Yeah. What those your dogs, Jerry? Those what's your feed like on those dogs? Do they burn a lot, or if you don't, they lose a lot of weight if you change food, or what?
Yeah, I just changed my food because a lot of weight. And, I changed over to feed like half my own.
Yeah.
Make up weight.
Might have to sit closer to your phone.
Yeah.
Quiet.
I can't. Can you hear too good or again?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Chris has got you turned down.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
Just because I have like
Yeah, he's picking on you.
That might be what it is. I don't know. It's just real quiet. Are you on a computer or phone?
a phone.
Usually those do better than anything else.
Might have to go back out and come in, but yeah.
Yeah. You might have to sign out and sign back in. Sometimes those phones do weird stuff. So,
My
anyway.
problem
Dog,
here lately is the weather.
dog food's a hard expense. A lot of guys, I mean, you can do the cheaper foods, and sometimes some dogs will do real well on them, but also you can go buy the Joy or the Inukshuk or the Yukonuba that are anywhere from 60 to 90 bucks a bag. And guys that I've talked to that are willing to spend the money say that it's sixes. You can buy the $30 bag or the $90 bag, and if you regulate those dogs and watch what they're eating and pay attention to their weight, you'll feed less of the more expensive feed, and it'll even out in the end. But trying to convince a hound dogger to spend $90 on a bag of feed's hard. And I'm guilty of it. I mean, with my business and what I do, I've really looked into maybe bringing in a dog, being a dealer for a certain type of dog food, and I'm really going to do my research before I do it. But it's hard to convince guys that are feeding 20 to 30 dogs that a 90-pound or a $90 bag of dog food is worth it until they try it for a month and they can, or 2-3 months, and they can see, all right, well, I spent this much, but the dogs are eating this much less and still looking good, still performing well. It's hard because, especially with gas is right now. Gas is fucking ridiculous.
$99 to fill up my Tundra today.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous. I'm the same way. I've been dealing with that, and it's between gas and everything else, it's hard not to try and cut costs where you can. And I get that. For sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely do it in the off season. I cut as much as I can. As long as dogs are still holding weight while I'm roading them and that, I'm going to feed what's cheap. And that's why I bought every bag I could at $20 a bag.
Well, like right
yeah.
now, only 2 dogs are actually eating, or 3. I've got one that's big as Chris, and then I've got undercovers dogs. Well, hell, one of his is slacked off, so my feed is cut back right now. What's a bag of Red Diamond going for?
It's $40. I think it's $38 or $42, somewhere around there.
Yeah, at Tractor Supply,
it's 42 here,
which is the 2420. I'm paying like 38 right now.
Yeah.
What's your Black Diamond going for, Chris? Or Black Value Pack? Excuse me.
Same thing. I think it's 38 or $40, somewhere around there. It's not more than 42. I'm pretty sure it's like 38 or 40.
See, it's 35, I think, here.
Which is great because when I found that black gold on sale, I asked the girl, I said, well, I said, I know you don't carry it normally, but if you were going to sell this retail, what would you sell it for? And she said 68.
So I can get you the black gold all day long for 38, but you
Yeah.
have to buy a ton of it.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I know.
nobody has $1,500. No, not many hound people have $1,500.
I mean, if you do it up front and then you're smart about it and put so much every way a month, put so much away every month after that. Because I used to buy it when I was feeding Showtime in Utah. I'd buy it by the half a pallet or the pallet.
Yeah.
And I really liked Showtime. I had good success on it, and that's an option that I'm looking into of maybe bringing into Arizona because no one has it out here.
Well, see, that's what a lot of the hog doggers feed down here because that's who sponsors their events, the Showtime feeds.
And I've talked to those guys, and they're really good guys. I just haven't been in the position to bring in a semi-load, mainly because where I live, I rent, so I don't want to set up shop and then be like, I got to move it all of it. Once I find more of a permanent place, the dog food dealer is going to become a thing. So right now I'm just really doing my research. I've put in some different types of feed to see what I like and what I don't like.
And the thing about ordering 4 tons at a time is it going to last?
And that's
beetles.
And that's where I'd have to bring in I'd either have to build a building and really take care of it, or bring in a Connex and have it airtight that way.
Yeah.
I think the Connex is your best bet.
Yep.
That's what most people do down here is just put the Connex.
It's hard.
The rats and all down.
And nowadays, getting into, going on to, Chris's topic a little bit, getting into hounds from scratch right now, if you do it the way that us guys that have been in it for a while think you should, it's expensive.
Hell, it's expensive just to maintain the habit.
It is, but nowadays with as many people as are out in the woods, you can't afford not to have a tracking system. And if you're going to do it, whether it's Garmin, whether you buy some old beep beep collars and learn how to use them, or you use the system that some guys are switching to now, that eSeek, it's still a decent investment, because whether they buy pups or they buy a started dog or they buy a finished dog, you're going to want to know where them dogs are. You're going to want to know if someone picked them up. You
can actually see a return in your investment when you buy something like that.
Yes. It's the tracking systems nowadays are a huge security. Plus, not only a security, but a tool to help you while you're hunting be a little more efficient, know where the dog is, not lose a dog, not leave a dog overnight if you can, and bring them home, So, plus, if you have a truck, whether you buy a dog box or build a dog box, you're still going to be something into that. Plus all your fuel to hunt and everything like that. It's just...
And vet bills if you have to go that route too.
And that's a thing a lot of new guys are not ready for. They don't think about that. I've been very blessed over the last 20 years to have very minimal vet bills.
Yeah, me too. I've been lucky.
Well, most of us learn how to tend to it or find somebody that shows us how to tend to it.
And that's where it comes into whether they have someone that they can talk to or a place that they can go to ask questions. I don't know, and this is a shameless plug, I'll put it out there, but I don't know if you guys have been on the honey hole lately, but I've asked a few questions about what's your procedure on bites, cuts, and scrapes? What do you use? Also, I have a question on there about antibiotics. It's not that I need to know, but
somebody else might.
I'm asking those questions so everybody else on there can put their input, and the guys that don't know can read that and use it.
Well, even the guys that know, even you, someone may jump in there and say, hey, I use this. And you may have been doing it for 30 years. You're like, really?
Well,
There
and,
you
and
go.
so I had the conversation with one of my good buddies that's been hunting his whole life, and him and I have always used, penicillin G. It's now it's a little harder to get a hold of, but I've got a guy that I know that I can buy big cattle bottles of it now.
Mhm.
And but him and I were talking, and he's like, you know what? I've kind of gone away from that. He's like, I've went to the amoxicillin pills or the cephalexin pills. I've kind of found for him, those have worked better,
Yeah.
and those are just as hard to come by. So it's like, well, him and I were talking. Well, it's like, yeah, next time we find someone going to Mexico, we know what we're buying. But it's definitely hard.
I said my little puppies on the puppy chow, they eat all the red ones first.
Mm.
They have different colored kernels. I don't know why they like it better, or whatever. I think that's why he's saying that.
In the different dog food that has the red, brown.
Yeah, the puppy
Yep.
chow has different flavor, and
It
then so he's right. Some dogs will not eat value pack. They won't eat diamond. I mean, I have dogs that love value pack. I have dogs that love diamond. I have dogs that love Old Roy. I haven't fed that in a long time, but I've been at my dad's house and had to feed it, and then regretted it shovel full later.
Yep.
So, I mean, you just got to find out. And if you have a plethora of dogs, you may have to buy some diamond, some black gold, and some.
Yep. I mean,
Some dogs just won't eat it.
I've had some dogs back. I'm trying to think what it was. It's been years ago. I think it was that Canine Rage. If you've heard of that, I had dogs that wouldn't eat it. Like they'd nibble at it, and the next day I'd come out to feed them, and their bowl would be almost still full.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll get hungry enough. They'll eat enough to survive, but they're going to lose weight if they don't like it. And that just comes to a houndsman or a handler paying attention to their dogs, seeing what they're eating, seeing what they're doing, how they're putting on weight, how they're not, what other supplements or things you can do to help them put on weight. You have those certain dogs that you can feed them 1 cup of dog food and they're going to get fat. And then you have other dogs like my boomer dog that I can feed him 4 cups of dog food and he's going to look the same 2 months
Looks
later.
like you haven't fed him for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah. And the hard part is he's the hardest hunting dog I have. But the minute I hunt him hard, he looks like death. Like that's just his way. I mean, I finally have got some weight on him now with some other things, feeding him some pumpkin, feeding him some raw eggs, and things like that. That's just a little more fat because I don't have access to meat scraps. Meat scraps are probably the best thing you can do for your dogs. But not all of us know a butcher that's going to give us 5-gallon buckets of meat scraps every week.
No, I mean, in a big city, you might be able to run around and get a 5-gallon bucket, but
Yeah.
Do you water bait him?
What's that?
Where you soak his feed?
I will in the summer just to make sure he gets enough water.
I definitely do it when we're running. We're out in the hills. They
Yep.
definitely have to eat that water to eat that food.
So he's just,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Keeps the worms good.
All dogs are. Most of them.
Dude, I cannot stand a shit eater. Whatever. It don't matter, whatever. I just can't stand a damn shit eater. God dang, it drives me crazy.
And that's once they start it, that's a hard habit to break.
I don't know why they do it. Is there a reason they do it?
I think it's boredom. Honestly, I think it's boredom.
Boredom, or they think they're still hungry because they haven't let it settle. You know how they say like when you eat, you're supposed to let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're still hungry, then you eat. A dog ain't gonna do that. Most of the time when they eat shit, it's gonna be within a half hour after they eat their food.
And I feel hounds are the worst.
Or as soon as you load them up.
Yeah.
They always act hungry.
Yeah.
They're worse than like my labs or my pit bulls. Pit bulls, they just kind of chew down. Them hounds act like someone's going to come take it from them if they don't eat it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
honestly, they do. I think it's just, but you look at, you know, the miles and stuff that a hound puts on versus your pit bulls.
We just went down a rabbit hole, guys.
It probably is better than old Roy eating their own shit. So no, but that that's part of we're talking about waste. What it is, do you spend? So here's a question I'm gonna ask earlier: $90 a bag or $50 a bag? Do you think to feed them less hurts them in any way? I don't want to say hurts them, like, so if you're feeding a handful and they're staying fat, or you're feeding two handfuls and they're staying fat, does that mentally mess them up, or does that feeding them less?
I got one that will stay fat on 3 kernels.
No, I had Vodka was the same way. I would feed her a handful, or she would blow up.
I think if they're looking healthy and staying healthy, they're gonna get used to the less amount, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think for the first little bit, they're gonna be like, "What the hell?" Just like my boy. He's a wrestler. He knows when it's time to cut weight, when it's not, and when he first starts it, he's like, "Damn, Dad, this ain't enough. I'm hungry."
Yeah.
But it's his choice. I leave it up to him. It's not me saying, "Hey, this is all you get." It's you chose to wrestle this weight. It's your job to make your goal. And he kind of, the first day or two, he's like, "Oh, this is awful," and then after that, his body will adjust a little bit. And so I think with the dogs, they'll adjust as long as their body's not starving. I think as long as their body's getting what it's need, their stomach and their desire will adjust a little bit. But you're always going to have those dogs that never feel like they get enough, no matter what.
Yeah.
I think I quit feeding this one and leave her for a week, and I don't think she'd lose weight.
Got her a thyroid. It's the thyroid.
Is she fixed?
No.
Well, what about
she
winter?
hadn't come into heat in 3 cycles. So.
Is she old?
It could be a thyroid thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it is.
If they all had thyroid, you wouldn't have to feed much at all then.
Yeah, no kidding. Feed bill would be cheaper.
So in the winters, I feed you typically at night, but when it gets cold, I feed them in the morning and night. I don't know if it helps, but I feel better. I feel better about it.
See, and I'm always been once a day feed unless it's pups. Well, like when they're still on their mom or when they're still starting out, I feed the pups twice a day. But when it comes to my other dogs, it's always been once a day. And in the wintertime, especially when I was in Utah, when it got a lot colder, it was warm water in their food. I felt like it would break it down and kind of be a little easier for them to digest it, but they're also getting water. Because dogs in the wintertime, it's just as easy for them to get dehydrated as it is in the summer.
Well, do you drink water in the winter?
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the summer, you can't get enough of it. In the winter,
You'll
go days.
But you can still dehydrate yourself. And
Yeah, I boil meat scraps and pour over the feed in the wintertime when it's bad and cold.
And that's, in the wintertime when it's cold, that 20, 10 degrees, I always felt like it was nice for them to have a warm belly full. Help them kind of
make it through the night. Yeah.
Yeah, keep that heat in, warm them up, help it break down a little more, just things like that.
I mean, if you're worried about bloat, though, why don't we just water it down and let it swell up and let them eat it soft? You still got the moisture in there. It's because we're lazy.
I got dogs that won't hardly eat it in the summertime with water in it.
Really? Because they don't want the water?
I don't know. They just won't touch it. It'll sit there. I have to pour it out the next day,
Yeah, some of them just
or
don't.
just get mad at them and leave it in there and make them eat it.
Well, it could be a. I mean, you look at people. Texture's a weird thing for people. I think dogs can probably have the same type of thing. You know,
Yeah.
they don't like a soggy, wet food. They like something.
Man, they eat a butthole out of a skunk.
I'm,
They're
I,
worried, and they're worried about.
I've seen it,
I've seen it too.
but I'm just saying, if they're not used to it, and some of them, like some dogs, just never get over things, no matter what it is. But
Oh, the recruit made him drink it hot. Dude, I hate hot water. I can't drink hot water at all.
but if you go look at studies, when you come out from hiking on a long hot day, cold
Drink.
water is the worst thing for you.
Well, it sends your body into shock.
Yep, you're
But
supposed
it
to.
tastes so good.
I agree. I won't. I struggle drinking water without ice in it. Like I hate room temperature
Oh,
water.
so where I live, the water's cold. The water's usually, even in the summer, you run a little bit, and it's really
Because they have
nice.
to bury it deeper for frost. Yep.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that, and it's well water.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I only
yeah.
got 100 yards of pipe to my house. So.
You mean you don't want to live in Phoenix, where in the summer your water comes out of the tap at 86 degrees?
Yeah, and you take a shower, and you can't get it cold enough.
No, you literally just turn it to cold, and it comes out
Yep.
warm enough to shower.
Yep.
But yeah, it's different.
You got to tell Dustin he's right every once in a while. So.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. It's good to hear it every once in a while.
Yep. So that, I mean,
His wife damn sure don't tell him.
No.
my theory back in the old days when I knew everything about dogs when I first started was it doesn't matter what you feed. If you feed old Roy, you just feed him double, right? But, and it works, right? You're getting just as much, but they sure shit a lot. So when I was out running, if I ran hard, I got back and I fed them. I fed them another. I used to, a big cup full if they were running really hard. And even if they do run hard, when I go out, like when I butcher on my elk, I save all the scraps. I mean, all of them. I'll feed them to my dogs, but then I'll bag up 5 pounds at a time. So when I'm out hunting and we have a pretty rough run, especially with bear, we get back to camp, I feed them a handful of meat, raw meat, and dog food. So not everybody can do that. And I wish I could, I wish they'd sell me that $5 permit like the reservation was going to do so I can go whack some horses.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I said it. Whack some horses.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I know a lot of these old timers, and it's probably not. Gotta be careful what I say, but some of these old timers back in the day, they'd go buy the the killer horses at the auction.
I would buy res horses for $20 a horse in Phoenix.
And what they'd do is they'd take care of that horse, and that's what they'd feed their dogs. And I also know other guys that would go to the butcher and buy the fat that the butcher can't use in 5-gallon buckets, and they'd freeze it. And then during wintertime, they'd take that frozen chunks of fat and they'd feed it to dogs. Them dogs would gnaw on that fat for a few days and give them the fat that they weren't getting to stay a little more healthy during the winter. Especially guys that hunt hard during the winter. If you're hunting hard during the winter, it's hard to keep a dog.
Well, I can guarantee you, Ben Lilly, Del Lee, any of these guys, even the guys in the 60s and the 70s and 80s, didn't carry a 50-pound bag of dog food with them.
Oh, they were eating meat. They were eating scraps.
They were eating something.
If they didn't catch it, they didn't eat.
Deer.
If you can feed a dog meat scraps with a little bit of dog food, it's gonna do better than a straight dog food diet or whatever.
Back
I
in the
do
day, they used to feed them cornbread.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and so I listened to, what was it today? Man, it was a podcast, but I can't remember what it was. But it was a guy talking about, um, oh, it was actually Heath Hyatt's podcast today. If you haven't listened to it, he's talking about puppies or getting a female ready to whelp puppies, what you should do, everything like that. But he said there was a thing back in the day that they went through, some dog food companies or whatever went through a grain-free diet for dogs, and those dogs ended up getting sick. They had this big epidemic of a certain sickness, and I can't remember what it was. You'll have to go listen to the podcast. But those dogs that people were feeding this grain-free dog food, it wasn't good for them at all. Dogs were getting sick, not going through it, and I'm probably really butchering it, but that was a very, very good podcast to listen to, because he does it with a vet, but the vet is also a hound.
Yeah.
So he understands both worlds, and he goes through what to do with the bitch before you get her pregnant, while she's pregnant, and what to do with the puppies after. And it was a really, really good one. But he did go through that whole grain-free diet. Dogs were getting sick left and right, and it was not good. And they went through and found out that the problem with all the dogs that were getting sick was they were on a grain-free diet.
So they were missing out on different kinds of vitamins and nutrients.
Yep, that you get. And all these guys preach that, your first ingredient on your dog food bag should be chicken meal or beef meal or lamb meal. And that's right. But they need to have a little more in their diet than just that. And that's where I think these guys that feed meat scraps is great, but they need to throw a little dog food in there to get some of that other stuff as well.
On Pod said, "What the heck is going on with Benny? He's working. He's a working man."
Benny came out of retirement and screwed himself and went back
to
work.
I literally told him that today too.
Well, you're talking about that grain-free, that black bag of value pack and that silver bag are grain-free. And I've noticed that my dogs eat more grass since I've been feeding them.
What's the reason they eat grass?
A lot of
digestive issues.
It's digestive.
I heard that.
Or a deficiency. And someone posted, I think it was Evan, posted if dogs are eating their shit, it's a vitamin B deficiency.
Vitamin D.
B. And I haven't went down the science of it to argue yes or no with that, but I do have a few dogs that, man, they're some grass eaters, and the problem is they'll eat a pile of it. 10 minutes later, they're puking the shit out.
Or it's in their shit. Yeah.
So what? I got dogs that eat their shavings.
That's weird.
That's for fire starter. You pick up their turd, put it in your pack later on.
You just about could.
So these, I know, like Chris Powell and all them guys with that. Elite. Yep. And they put the powder on everything,
and supplements are a good thing. I think you just need to do your research on what you're after. I mean, especially for older dogs, joint supplements and glucosamine are a great thing. You'll get more out of the dog. I used to feed, or not feed, but I used to supplement a lot of my dogs with some Alpha Dog supplements, and they have one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's one that you put on their food after a hard night of running, and it helps them bounce back the next day. And I did see great results with that when I was hunting hard on bears. And I will probably bring, I'm going to do some more research, but I'll probably bring something like that with me on this fall hunt. Because, when I hunt 5 or 6 weeks straight, it's hard on my dogs. You know, even though I bring in other dogs, you know,
You might want to take a teaspoon yourself.
yeah,
Dogs Are Treed sells a supplement that does that. It's like Dogs Are Hydrated or something
yeah,
like that.
they
It
have
helps
something
them rebound.
water that helps
Yeah.
them rehydrate them, stuff like that. You know, I think there's a few different kinds out there. Elite Nutrition's got one. Alpha Dog's got some.
I
Dogs
think that's the reason why y'all's dogs, like you were talking about earlier, they look like death after they've run. Because, like Chris, when he pulls up, his dogs look like mine, but after he leaves, and now they didn't run hard,
Mm-mm.
and he can attest to that. They didn't run hard, but it's just that sucks
They
it
suck
up,
in. Mhm.
It
Yucky
dries them
Yucky
out.
was my worst dog.
Well, and it's hard for. I mean, you think about it on a hard bear race on a bear that's a runner. You're going somewhere in between 10 to 20 miles. Them dogs are running, and you think about it. If they're running hard, unless that bear stops for water, them dogs ain't gonna stop for water. So it's gonna suck it out of them pretty hard, and that's why they're gonna go from here to here. You're literally like a bodybuilder that the night before his competition cuts out water completely and sucks everything in, sucks
Well-
that skin in to show every vein, show every muscle, and that's what your dogs are looking like.
And that's the same with pregnant bitches that go into labor
Yeah,
because it will suck them dry, them sucking them titties. It will suck them dry. And I had a dog that just now, and she is, man, no matter what you feed her, you should probably throw some of that powder in on that too.
yeah,
And here's another thing. Anderson said, I've learned after 35 years that if you're eating their poop, this would turn out that vitamin B deficiency. The normal blood panels don't test for vitamin B, but you should request it. But how many houndsmen, honestly, if there's nothing wrong, how many times do you go to the doctor this week and get something tested just to test it? We're not
Yeah.
taking a dog in to test unless there's something wrong. Now, if he's laying there like he's dying, you're going to take him in. You know what I mean? So I think we talked about it's kind of talking about what's overrated. There, man, you know those people that take fufu in every week. They take them in for their yearly. I don't even take my kids in for their yearly. You know,
Yeah.
doctor.
I
So,
avoid the doctor at all costs, except for the one that makes my back feel better.
mhm.
You
Oh,
know,
bounce back. Well, I mean, what's in that? Purina has a canned dog food that's called Bounce Back. And honestly, if you go buy a bag of chicken and feed them raw chicken in the bones, you're getting a lot of energy there too. My story about Dirty, he was dead. He's 12. I really thought he was dying. He wasn't pissing good. He wouldn't come out of his box. I started feeding him hamburger. I'd mix hamburger, peanut butter and jelly, Gatorade, powder. Like I was just throwing shit in a pot. And I fed him that for 2-3 days, and bam, he was trying to hump all my jips.
so there's one thing, and I can't remember where I heard it, but if you pack around a peanut butter and honey sandwich
Yeah.
on a long hard day, and you give it to them dogs, they'll like just bounce right back. All of a sudden, you've been trailing 10, 12 miles, you feed them that, give them water, and give them a break for 10, 15 minutes, it's like a whole new dog.
Well, you can just take the honey packets
Yeah,
and rub it on their gums. And,
Well, which is crazy because my boy, when he wrestles, especially in big tournaments, he has honey sticks, and that's what he'll take. I mean, he'll eat those in between his matches. He'll eat those honey sticks, and it's crazy. It'll bounce him right back.
Yeah. That honey's an amazing thing.
It is.
A
So
little bit of bee throw up, you're good to go. I always take peanut butter and honey myself, just for me.
So speaking of honey, have you seen the new stuff they're coming out with the honey that's in like the wound care?
yeah, I've got a jug of it.
So I just bought some this last week because I've been dealing with getting some dogs better after some bite marks and cut marks and stuff like that. And I was using red coat before that, and it wasn't doing like I wanted. So I went to Tractor Supply and bought some of this honey medicine, and I should have brought it in with
Silver honey.
Yes, silver honey. That has made a world of difference.
What?
Everything. Oh,
What?
Don't pile talking shit about you, Benny.
every time I see him, he's about 30 pounds lighter. Good Lord, Benny.
That's what he's doing. He's been at the gym.
You know what?
He ain't eating his own cooking.
He's going to whoop my ass.
I'm not. I'm certainly not.
It's like a bar owner that don't drink.
That's it.
But either way, it's good to see you, Benny. It's been a while.
I know.
Hey, I haven't seen you since Douglas. I pretended that I saw you.
Oh. Well, we had that conversation. I had some kids that wanted to hunt, and hunting was, if anything takes precedence over anything, it's hunting.
I tell you what, that's probably nothing farther from the truth. But you have to take time out, and this is where houndsmen mess up. Another rabbit hole is we don't stop sometimes to go. What do you call it? Like get to know other people. What's the word I'm looking for here? I keep saying associate, but
Socialize.
Socialize, like mingle with the peasants. We don't take that time. Like the rendezvous, I get a lot.
Hell, I am a peasant.
We're all peasants.
Yep.
So like the rendezvous, I get a lot of people say, "Well, it's during season," and it's just like you're not going to have a season one day. So you do have to take that time. Just even like going down to Douglas, just for one, to meet Warner Glenn, whether you stay there for 10 minutes or 10 days, it's just cool to meet the guy. And you had Terrell Shelley, there's a Clump, Johnny Clump. So sometime, and Cody came from Texas to go down there, and he said it was the best time he's ever had. So
I agree. I mean, I truly am sad that I missed it. But when my kid that lives out of state came and said, "Dad,
I know
that pulls at a whole different heartstring."
it
Hey, for
does.
what it's worth, I traveled out of state too.
Benny
Yep.
did.
Yeah, heck,
Yep.
you were close to me not too long ago, Benny. Over in Canton.
That's not very close to you. You're way up farther.
Well, I ain't but about 4 hours from me.
Does anybody add anything to their water bucket?
Water.
Water.
So we're talking about overrated and how much do you have to do? Like if you did it right, if you put in a little bit, an elite should get a hold of us and throw an ad on here because we've said our name like 10 times tonight. So, but to start to finish, throwing stuff in your dog food, feeding them a little extra peanut butter or whatever, or some meat, just to start right here in the feed part of having hounds. How necessary is that? How overrated is that? Because we've all been running dogs for the last year and not done that, and we survived. But what do you think the difference would be, right, if you did do that?
It could be a hound that only lasts 8 years versus a hound that lasts 12 years. But you don't, unless a guy really takes the time to put in the research and put pencil to paper and spends the years doing it.
There you go. I dump out the piss water and add water.
Oh my
I do
God.
that.
I've got 3 males that do nothing but piss and shit in their water.
And as soon as you clean it, you walk away and they piss it.
I've got 2 gypsies playing their
Network.
shit and playing their water.
That's the word I was looking for, networking. You sometimes got to stop what you're doing to network.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
sometimes.
right. And I struggle with that. If I can hunt versus do anything else, I'm gonna hunt, and that's I don't know if it's a downfall. I don't know if it's a good thing, but that's where I'm at. Is if there's an opportunity to go hunt, especially with my kids, while they'll still want to go with me.
Yeah.
where
Well, you
I'm-
still can.
That's
Trust me,
Take
I'm,
full
I'm
advantage
50.
of that, Dustin.
I'm 50, and it's starting to hurt.
yeah.
Because
Well,
there will come a time they're like, I ain't got time for you, Dad.
yeah. I mean, my oldest has moved out of the house. She'll be 19 next month. And at the time that I really did want to go to Earn Your Spurs was one of the few weekends she was going to come home since she's moved out. And she said, Dad, let's go see what we can find, catch a lion. And that was all right, my kid comes first.
Yeah, it's a lot more special than Warner Glen, that's for sure. When it comes
Well,
to
I mean, would I love to meet Warner? Yes. But I also had the thought that, you know what, in an environment like that, he's going to be so very busy that I probably would get a small conversation. And not that that's bad, but for me, I'd love to take the time just to go meet him and spend an hour. That's me and Warner, and really get into the talk that's hard to have in a public place, if that makes sense.
Well, let me tell you, I looked up and Warner was walking out across there all by himself. And who walked up to him and got 30 minutes of his time uninterrupted? Cody King.
that's because no one could hear them talking.
They were
They're
looking eye to eye.
all they're
That's
the
the
only
thing.
ones that could hear each other.
If I got to talk to Warner for 30 minutes while he was walking, Benny, my neck would be so dang tired.
No, he stopped right there. He just stopped and they just were having a visit. And Cody said, "You
I'm all
must be Warner Glenn." And he says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm Warner Glenn." And he stuck his hand out and he said, "Well, I've always wanted to meet you." And he says, "You must have hunting dogs."
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
So I don't know what all they talked about, but they didn't have to mess around and we didn't have to worry about trying to find him somewhere. It worked.
no. And
This-
that's what I've heard very much from a lot of guys about Warner is
Down to earth.
he's very humble and down to earth and doesn't think of himself like the rest of the hound world thinks of Warner. If that
Let me
makes
tell
sense.
you, the only selfish thing about Warner Glenn is when he walks. Because if you're walking next to Warner Glenn, his stride is about 15 feet when yours is only about 4.
Oh, on a
You
good day,
cannot keep
I
up
make
to him.
3.
Yep. When I would talk to him on the bleachers, I felt good because I had to stand up 4 bleachers just to talk to him.
Yeah. And
He is a nice dude.
I am.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Mr. Rick, they don't have mosquitoes like we do.
Well, someone asked about let me tell you how horrible of a dog owner I am. I don't worm my dogs hardly. I've never got heartworms. I worm them very seldom for gut worms, and a lot of times it's horse wormer or a cigarette. I'm old school.
I mean, you go down that rabbit hole along with vaccinations. I mean, I think definitely the Eastern guys, like where Jeremy's at and stuff like that, they deal with rabies and possibly distemper a little more than we do. I mean, I'll be honest. Other than parvo,
I've never done a rabies shot.
no.
And I'm bad about parvo shots. I give them one. I'm going to tell you something about shots. I never gave shots, ever. I could get parvo done with. I would clear them. But this strain in the last 10 years is horrible.
It's a nasty one.
Yeah, I've got a worm every month, just for heartworms,
And then
about every 3 months for regular worms.
And you probably deal with and probably not a lot, but you probably deal with rabies a little more back.
Not quite here. It's distemper here.
But people worry about distemper and rabies a lot more, just probably because of the coons more than anything.
That's the only reason why I get yearly shots.
Yep. And
I take them to the vet to get the rabies, and
Well, you have to, don't you have to? You guys have
Yeah.
to take them to the vet. That's what he
you
was saying
can't
right
you
here.
can't buy them over the counter anymore.
yeah,
And then ticks.
ticks are
We got a
and like
upload of them.
back
In
there,
Phoenix.
they're a lot worse than I think we deal with them out here.
In Phoenix, I had them worse than up here, but we go through the winters. And then
Bill Gates
down in
is throwing
Phoenix,
them
I had the
suckers out on.
big old gray ones in Phoenix. Up here, I get them every once in a while. And what's crazy about my ticks up here is Dirty will get ticks real bad. I'll walk out there and he'll have a ton of them on him. Nobody else. And it's just weird. But I don't get all crazy on. I take 7 dust and I dust my dogs. That's what I do. Even puppies. I just did it the other day because I get little. Here in the last couple of years, I got seed ticks. They're little tiny little ticks that drive me crazy. So.
Yeah, that's just a different stage. You think you got them bad? You come here.
Yeah, no.
You'll
We're
be
so dry.
covered.
We're so dry and hot here. Vaccinate when they are pups. After that, I might do their test to see that they still have immunity.
Undercover says a monkey was found in rabies in Superior. That's a good thing to know for Dustin and Jared Fisher.
They don't hunt over here. They're sissies. Well, I guess Jared's down there by. They found a bat too somewhere. There's a bat somewhere some kids were playing with, and it had rabies. So, I never, knock on wood, whatever. I've just never had to. I don't know. I never had those problems, man. Well, yeah. I wonder if you get those garlic pills and throw it in a piece of cheese and feed it to your dogs. I wonder.
It don't work. As
Don't?
much garlic as I eat, that's a staple.
You still get ticks?
Ticks, mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having to fog my dog yard every evening just to get rid of the mosquitoes. Give them a break.
Did they tear up the dogs, the mosquitoes?
Bad.
Yeah. Well,
it's the same way here, Jason Figgins and Mr. Jim. You got a state law, you got to get them through the vet so you can get your tags and paperwork.
Oh, stop it. Rabies are required by law in Virginia, but also 9 or 10 weight booster annually. Making sure they have the lepto. I think the lepto has caused skin issues, and I don't even know what that stuff is. It's Trio every month as well. I just don't take care of my dogs, but I don't have problems with my dog.
So the lepto is another thing that vet talked about on that podcast. Saying it's something that's passed through the urine of a lot of mammals. So it's not just dogs or coons that pass it. It comes from it's called like leptocirrhosis or something like that. But it can be passed on from a whole bunch of different animals that they pee in a mud puddle and a dog drinks out of a mud puddle.
Bacterial infection caused by leptospira that affects both humans and animals. People typically get infected by coming in contact with water or soil contaminated by the urine.
Yeah.
And your dogs in your kennel and in your chains, wherever you have them, piss all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have you dropped something or fed or cleaned out shit? It causes flu-like symptoms that can lead to severe organ damage if left untreated.
And he was saying, that vet was saying, by the time you notice it and can diagnose it, they're too far gone. Like it's going to shut down their organs and the dog's going to die.
You talking about another, since we're on the vet topic, another waste of money is that Sympacor Trio and Brevecto. The cost of that mess is outrageous. And I do still use Brevecto and the Sympacor Trio on puppies, but not as often as I once was because it's a 3-month preventative for the Bravecto. But
Yeah, and so
I was using it as an Ehrlichia preventative. Well, it don't prevent Ehrlichia. It just keeps them from getting ticks. Tick bites them is infected with Ehrlichia. They still get Ehrlichia.
so
This is probably the truest thing you can say, because we've talked about how lonely lion hunters and people back hunt. I do not hunt with a lot of people. You don't hunt with a lot of people. You got a couple, I got a couple, and you're probably right, Rick. Chris, you're not taking your dogs around other dogs. A lot you don't know what other dogs have. Even at the hound trials, it's a 5-second run back. It could happen. I'm not saying it, but that's the most. And I don't take my good dogs, honestly.
yeah. Well, you look at the field trials and especially, and I was listening to a different podcast today. These guys that do the pens, that they do the field trials in the pens. They're letting them dogs run for 4 to 5 hours in them pens.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dogs with other dogs, and it's not just like 3 or 4
well,
dogs.
And they all drink out of the same water, right?
And they're chasing foxes and coyotes in those pens.
That transmit the same stuff. So I definitely think, nothing against it, but I mean, that can be a breeding ground of other things for sure that we don't deal with out west, that the eastern guys definitely deal with.
Is it? I think it's the moisture. I think we're so dry, it's hard for things to.
It's been so wet here lately, you can't, like, right now, you go outside, you'll get toted off.
Yeah.
Y'all ask Jared Fay how big the mosquitoes are right now. He said, these things are Apache helicopters.
Yeah. So
I tried to get him on the show.
Him up.
You can't put undercover game wardens on a show.
No.
Everybody knows.
Well, you can do that little, face blocking,
So on that podcast I was listening to, Jeremy, they mentioned a website that they buy some stuff through that they say it's a hell of a lot cheaper than getting it through the vet or the feed store. You'll have to go listen to it. It's actually one worth listening.
Is that on the W one?
It is. Yeah. It's called his podcast is called the Creekside Chronicles.
Yeah.
But it's broadcasted on the W channel.
Yeah.
So it's that last one he put out is one definitely worth listening to, especially if you're looking into to breeding a bitch and having pups. But
so
some of it I think is with the drop, but is what it is. So, anyways,
we talked about what's that?
Going back to our topic, what other questions you got?
So we talked about the feed.
GPT this shit.
I always got GPT. Ain't that smart?
He's got a list, Dustin.
I have to have structure, man. I have to have structure.
Know.
And I've been trying my hardest. We all
Benny,
love
he's reformed now.
My question is on the chat GPT list, is there a Benny section?
No, he's been gone. He deleted us. He was too good.
Sorry, Benny, I tried.
We talked about food. We talked about vet shit. So go into gear. Let's go into gear. We talked a little bit about GPS, but let's go into gear. I mean, all the gear. Like, I think I don't have Sika camouflage. I'm freaking
just go into boots, Chris. Just go to boots.
Yeah. See, I'm not that guy that I wear my cowboy boots. I'll be honest with you. I don't have hiking boots, and I could walk 3,000 miles, but that's all I wear.
What kind of boots do you use, Dustin?
I mean, if I remember, I put on I wear Zamberlins. I like them, but I have ankles that won't stand up.
Same way I am. I gotta have.
You have to compress them.
I gotta compress them because every once in a while I'll forget, and I just wear my Georgia slip-ons, and I'll go for a walk, and then I roll my ankle 3 damn times, and I get pissed off that I didn't remember my other boots.
And then you got Casey wearing, Skechers, like, hey dudes.
Exactly. I mean,
Galen, rock cliffs and stuff.
That's, I mean, Jared Fisher wears the same. He wears the Georgia boots that I normally wear during the day. That's all he wears. Him and I have the same boots, but when I hunt, I try to switch to something that laces up and is more supportive, just because I know I'm gonna roll an ankle, and once I do it bad enough, that shit hurts. So
No, it definitely does. I mean, and you're looking at $200-300 for a good pair of boots. But is that like dog food?
yeah, you're not high enough. But
Oh, I know. I don't
Start
buy
at
those. I buy
$300.
$100 boots, man.
Start
I buy
at $300.
$100.
But
You guys, let me ask you this though, Dustin, are you rolling your ankles when you're stepping in and out of the stirrups?
that's a different story. It's when I'm hiking. You're exactly right. Exactly right. It's a lot easier to not roll an ankle when you're sitting in a saddle, right?
But when you got people like Jared that's walking. He's built. His ankles are built for walking because that's all he does.
Yeah.
So his chances of, if you got a guy that rides his mule 90% of the time and a guy who walks 90% of the time, that guy gets off that mule, he's going to step off and roll his ankle probably, just because he's not used to walking, I guess.
No. Well, and it's just, everybody's built a hair different too,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I walk a lot right now, I do, and if I have the right boot, I'm great. But if I have the wrong one, it can put a hurting on me, and then I'm hobbling from the tree.
Jared's lazy now. He's on horseback. He's on horseback or buggy. He's on Casey's horse. He's on horseback or he's on Casey's buggy.
He once Jared figured out the four-legged creatures can carry you a long dang ways, he was like walking stupid.
Well, and you remember when he first started, I remember him calling me, he's like, I hate mules. I can't go down and I can't follow the dogs. I can't. It really drove him crazy. He was used to staying with his dog.
Yep. You adapt, you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Learn where you can or can't take a horse or a mule, and where you got to tie up, where you got to lead on certain situations, and go from there. But yeah, it's just, everybody's different. You go into the gear topic, boots are just a piece of it.
Those are the guys that got beat up in the old days, Casey. You know it.
Hey, he wears spurs with them Skechers too.
I
have zero doubt that Casey does. But
I mean, the good thing about houndsmen is everybody says it's expensive, but look at those. Take an elk or deer gut. I mean, they're buying binoculars that are $2,500. They're buying $1,000 walking boots. They're buying Sika. They're buying $500. I don't know how much that stuff is. They're spending $2,000 or $3,000 a year on their stuff.
I think
arrows.
Where hound guys will surpass, and not that it's a contest, but where hound guys will definitely spend a little more, is on gas and dog food. You know what I mean? Yeah. Gas, because I'm not hunting 2 months out of the year. Yes, they scout. I'll even give them 6 months. I don't hunt 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
If I can, I'm hunting 12 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
If not, at least 10.
Yeah, I talked to a guy the other day, and he said he hunted 350 days last year.
And honestly, if you live in a place that you can do it in the right state with the right environments, yeah. I mean, when I think I put pencil to paper and counted my days, and in Utah there was a day that I hunted 280 days a year.
And it don't sound like a lot, but go hunt 100 days out of the year.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to question it, you put pencil to paper and really track the days that you hunt. It's hard for a guy that works a regular job, not even a regular job, but just somewhat of a job, to put in more than 100 to 100 days a year. I mean,
the only way a guy's going to hunt 3 months out of the year is if he works the other and takes off that 3 months.
Yeah, because you
on a regular job.
if a guy works Monday through Friday, that means he can only hunt. If we're talking about days, coon hunting is very different. You can hunt at night and still drag your ass to work in the morning, and I get that. But if we're talking about lions or bears, you hunt 2 days a week, and there's 52 weeks a year. You're hunting
100 days.
a little over 100 days.
104 days. Yeah.
That's tough. And so them guys that are hunting them 200 to 300 to 300 plus days a year, that's a lot. And that's gas, that's time, that's dog.
You know what that is? That's tweaker shit right there. You're so addicted to that hunting. You have to love it.
Yeah. He's our new nephew.
Yeah, it's.
Well, you got to take Dustin, right? You were off for 2 years. Like, you didn't really have the opportunity. You were getting your other stuff straightened up.
Yep.
So you were clean. You were sober for 2 years.
I was sober for 2 years.
And then all of a sudden, someone gives you a little bit of crack, some dogs, and you've been hitting it as much as you can.
I went worse than I was.
Yeah. He got off crack, got on them amphetamines.
Yeah. I mean, it was, yeah. It's like right now, Arizona's hound season shut down May 31st, and we're June 10th. So it's been 10 days.
Lion season shut down. There's still coyotes, man.
I agree. I haven't been out with my dogs in 10 days as far as hunting goes, and it's
you're jonesing.
It's driving me nuts. Like,
what is that stuff they use for heroin addicts? That
Narcan?
No. That stuff saves them.
Yeah.
You probably needed that a month ago. No, the stuff they give them, they need some sort of video game.
Suboxone?
Simulator.
Like, it's hard. I'm struggling. Even Jared's text me. He's like, dude, I need to hunt. I need to run a line. But like, especially where I spent the last 5 days of the season just going hard.
Yep.
Hard. And then it's just like a cutoff, and I'm like, ugh, like I'm struggling. Even going and roading, I'm like, yeah, I'm spending time with my dogs, and it's good, and I enjoy it, but it's not the same.
So he's right here too. If you have hound dogs, and we all do, it's dogs every day. It's not just I'm out 3 days. I didn't just go out 100. I didn't deal with my dogs 100 days or 30 days, or you deal with your dogs there is no put the bow in the closet, hang your sticker up, put your rangefinder in the case. It's every day, even the next 2 months.
Yep.
In Arizona, you still have to either go run your dogs, let them out in the yard, feed them. You still got to feed them.
You got to spend time with them, no matter what.
Methadone.
They are, yeah.
I knew Undercover would know it.
Hounds are still a 365 days a year type of thing. Whether you're hunting them, spending time with them, roading them, whatever, they are not something you can put away for 6 months out of the year and just come out and be like, oh, it's time to go. A bow?
Wouldn't that be nice? Put them in the closet. Don't have to feed them, water them.
Clean their shit
up. Optics, whatever. You can stuff them in a closet, and they're still the same when you bring them out. If you do nothing but feed a hound for 3 months and then bring them out, it ain't gonna work. You go to trail that lion or run that bear, them dogs are out of shape. They're rusty. It's gonna take them a minute to settle back in, but to get in shape to be able to do what you need them to do, if you don't spend time with them, and road them and get them in shape, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
This is a funny thing. Is I've had family members, and Jeremiah said, I have hounds to avoid weddings and funerals. I have 2 family members that are mad at me because I don't know what they were thinking, but they got married during bear season.
Yeah.
And my cousin still gives me shit for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you get married when you did? And then my son had wedding rehearsal. He got married, same thing. And I showed up. He's like, are you going to be at the rehearsal? I'm like,
no.
And then they get a call that I'm chasing a bear. We're treeing. I'm like, we chase, we tree. Well, even my wife was in labor. Come on. We're at a tree, man. I'm trying, but we showed up to the wedding reception or the the little practice, and I had dogs with me.
Oh,
Plus,
I've done that multiple
you know-
times. I've had to change in the parking lot with hounds in the dog.
Oh yeah, yep. So, no, he's right. If you want to avoid something, get hounds.
Yeah, Benny. So, have you and your boy got pups and got started back into the world yet?
That's why Benny's working. He's hiding from him.
Nah, I'm just asking.
I got 2 pups. I sent one to a rancher friend of mine over in the Capitan Mountains, and I put the other one right down the road here at Brett's house. So,
Okay.
And I've got 2 more pups coming for the same deal.
Nice. Good. I knew it was in the works. I was just curious where you were at with that.
Nothing like giving a recovering heroin addict some heroin, right?
Just a little bump, right?
Hey, I even got to go fishing.
Yeah.
I even got to go fishing here a while back.
Dang. So we got the gear covered. Now let's move the dog boxes. Trucks. That can be inexpensive. Now you can go buy a cheap truck, right? You can go buy. My dad has one right now, a 2005 or 8 Nissan Little Frontier, has a dog box in it, $4,000. It runs beautiful, ready to go. I think it even has radio in it, whatever. But let's say you buy a cheap one, $4,000, and you're out running around, and you bust the front end, you blow out the tranny, you got a lot of weight. People don't realize I have airbags on mine. Yep. Because when you got, let's average a 50-pound hound, and you got 10 of them in there, you got 500 pounds in the back of that. Plus your water, plus your ice chest, plus your box. So you're toting anywhere from 8 to 1,000 pounds everywhere. I never take my dog box out, ever.
Nope. And then
very good.
Eventually that suspension's going to settle and get used to that dog box. It's going to settle a little more. So 2 years into that truck, and you weren't bottoming out, now you're going to bottom out.
Now you're buying airbags so you don't bottom out.
Exactly.
Buy airbags now. That is my preventive maintenance.
I mean, it is, and to go on the dog box thing, when I first got into it, I built my own out of stuff I could find from work. I worked at a metal fabrication shop, and I built what I could. Did that for a lot of years, and then I finally got to a point in life where, things were good, and I bought a nice dog box that I had built for me the way I wanted it. And since I did that, I've had that dog box for 6 years with 0 complications.
Benny went fishing and only caught a couple fish.
Oh, good Lord.
Who had to clean those, Benny? Who had to clean those?
It's just one of those group efforts. We only filleted 40 fish that night.
That's when you have a fish fry.
Jeez. To go to Anderson's last comment, that is where my dog box came from, and I had 0 complications and 0 problems.
I think Brett's problems were because they were giving Brett a good deal on them, and so they weren't getting full price, and so they put him on the back of the line.
Yeah. They literally said they put him back line, even though he paid pretty close to full price. They didn't give him much discount.
It was like a $200 discount. It wasn't much.
And they had it for 6 months, Benny?
Oh, jeez.
No, I think it was longer than that.
It was almost a year.
It was a year.
Yeah, that's.
And he had to call and be like.
And then it wasn't right when he got it. And he had to have somebody close to him do some work on it.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Jeremiah throwing in those things you don't think about.
Yeah.
You have to call your buddy, which is going to cost you a 12-pack, probably more depending on how bad it is, or you have to call a tow truck.
Yep.
And why everybody don't have AAA is beyond me. because I used
Just
to do
ask
twink.
this guy.
That's a fact. You have to have, it's $100 a month, people. They should sponsor us too, and they'll go 200 miles. And I used to tow and do work for AAA, and we would go way out nowhere, and we got more money obviously because it was off road. But
Yeah.
why every hound guy don't have triple? You know what's funny is I backed up. I was hunting with Sonny Tapia. I backed up, went to pull forward, and I smelled gas. I'm like, what the hell? And then I see my gas gauge. I'm like, oh, you got to be shitting me. And I did. I backed up, went right through the, the shield, and it right, it's plastic. And I sat there waiting for my son to come get us. And then I realized I had Toyota Tundra Care and forgot I had AAA. And stupid. But get AAA, $100 a month. But that's another expense, right?
It
AAA.
is.
And if you go buy a $50,000 truck like me and destroy it, you'll get 5 years out of it. I have a 19, so I'm at 6 years. I've been lucky with it, and hadn't had too many problems.
Yeah, and it's just all on how you hunt too. If you're, so you look at like our situation, and then you go to where Benny's headed. Benny's not gonna be driving a truck riding around looking at tracks. Benny's plan is probably, whether he's got the mules or the horse trailer and the truck at the moment, he's going to be investing in that if he doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure on his. Yeah, we got to keep that quiet. The first wife can hear.
No habla inglés.
Just saying, even a guy that a guy that had been in it for years, when you're out of it or just getting started, depending on the way you go, whether it's the truck route or the side-by-side route or the horses or mule route, it can be a big expense just to get started. A huge one.
I think it would be fun to chase one on my side-by-side because I got a razor that will just flat haul ass, and I don't know that I could follow him though.
Well, you know what, Benny? You come to the rendezvous and we'll find a big stinky one to follow, and we'll give that razor hell.
Oh no, he gives it hell as it
Oh
is.
yeah, I could.
I'm not
I could
down.
see just jumping off into Cherry Creek with that thing. Damn it!
Oh yeah, I'll
I
ride.
ain't going.
I'll ride with you.
So then
Hey,
we haven't even got.
I'll bet
We haven't even.
Di-
Go ahead.
Diana Fair would go.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I have zero doubt
Yeah.
that we'll go where
He
Casey.
bought. Let me see. He bought her an F-150. Have you guys seen how Diana drives, right? That's all I'm gonna say. I love her. Don't get me wrong. But
No.
she don't use brakes, and the foot don't come off the fuel.
So Casey, did you get her? Did you get her one the Eco Boost so that she can push that button and take off?
Oh, I'll bet. That's gonna
Oh
be.
yeah. So your trucks are already costing enough, and that if you go buy a new one, and a lot of people don't buy a new one like I did, and 2 weeks later you're like plowing through trees.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to take care of it. I don't. And then kennels, even chains, even just if you build chains, it costs me a few $100s to build my chains or my tie.
Chains or dog houses and food bowls, water bowls, all that.
Service on your ATVs and your truck.
Yep.
And then you got people buying those OHVs, and those last a little while. Those don't last like a truck.
No.
They're comfortable, but those aren't meant to put 100, 200, 300 pounds in the back of those.
You got to be a good mechanic if you own one.
Well, like we were saying kind of last week, you buy a brand new one and you use it hard as a hound dogger would use it. You're talking 10,000 miles and it's time to replace it.
I think Casey buys one every 2 years. He's rough on equipment.
Well, and that's the thing,
But
plus
his country is too.
Well,
Yeah.
and he's not just hound hunting. He's ranching.
he's ranching.
He's
But-
throwing shit in the back of that. I mean, he's using it.
Yeah, and with those side by sides, it comes with regular maintenance. You're going to go through tires a lot faster than you will on a truck.
If you don't buy car tires, truck tires for those OHVs,
you're going to burn them.
You burn those OHV ones down.
And then if you're, to go off of what, Jeremiah just said, if you live in deep snow country, those guys that are putting tracks on those side by sides, they're going to burn them side by sides up even quicker.
Oh yeah,
like the tracks are hard on stuff.
Yep. So. Tires, you don't think about it, but because you're on dirt, you think, "Oh, we're on dirt." But I tell you what, that it burns your sidewalls up.
Well, that and the rocks. I mean, let's be honest. Unless you're on a great road in Arizona backcountry, the rocks out
here. What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
About like one in Louisiana.
Like the rocks and everything else, they chew up good tires. I mean, everybody loves Toyo tires. I burned through a set in less than
tell you, Pathfinders, I would go 2 or 3 years with them, no lie. And let me tell you something too. Just like AAA, you can go on your you can go on Amazon and buy you a set of tires for $400 all you want, or you can go to discount and buy you a set of $1,000 tires. You buy that warranty, because that warranty has saved me hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Just do like Casey and put 18 plies on whatever you.
Oh my God! Have you ever lifted an 18-ply tire? That adds about 15,000 pounds to your truck. They are heavy. I had 16-ply on a trailer, and they are heavy. But if you can buy those heavy-duty tires, I don't buy nothing but low range E.
Yeah.
Period. I don't care what it's on.
And the heavier sidewalls, I mean, it makes a difference. You don't get the puncture wounds and stuff in the sidewalls that'll last you longer. But you're right. It's weight. It's everything else, too. So it all, I mean, to be honest, running hounds, no matter what way you run them, is never cheap. And unless you're a guide or an outfitter, all it is money you're spending for something you enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, didn't they just sell another mule for $130,000 somewhere?
You really got to go into this.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's another expense.
That's what I'm saying. That's the same thing.
Plus tax,
you're going to buy a
$50,000
truck.
They did.
Or a $30,000 side by side. That mule will last those guys 20 years. That side by side, that's $30,000 or $50,000. If you get AC and all that crap, it's $51,000. I know that. I'm just talking a plain Jane, $20,000, $30,000. You're going to buy 5 of those in your lifetime.
Yep. I agree. I mean, it's all relevant and irrelevant at the same time. You know what I mean? It just trucks, side by sides. Good Lord, Benny, where is
that? Is that Cody King? Who is that over there?
Oh, that's Cody King, just a foot shorter.
Is that a mini Cody?
But it's all in. But you look at any hobby that someone does, whether it's a boat with jet skis and wakeboards and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
that they
$100,000 travel trailer.
They live for the summer months, or they do this. It's all in what you enjoy, and how you do it, and if you can afford to do it a couple different ways, that's great. If you can only afford to do it one way, we all do it different. And I've been blessed and fortunate enough that my lifestyle and my living is made somewhat centered around hounds. And to me, whether I'm working with Cold Strike, whether I'm doing stuff with the honey hole, or whether I'm guiding, or I'm just hunting for fun.
Babysitting Fisher. Don't forget about that.
Hey, he pawned him off. He pawned him off on Kyle, and then Kyle pawned him off on Casey. He's the real red-headed stepchild around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey's trying to figure out who he's going to charge for child support.
No kidding.
Sarah or you or Kyle.
But just saying, like all of that, whatever you do, I've made it in my life that hounds are somewhat in a roundabout way how I make a living, and it's been a blessing for me because they're in my everyday life all day. But other guys, it's just like Jeremy. Jeremy goes to work, and hounds are not a part of his life while he's at work.
Bullshit. That's all I think about.
Well, I just all right.
I would rather be at the house with them dogs than I would be at work.
I agree, but
You're in the wrong line of work. You're in the wrong line of work to not think about your job.
I agree.
Well, you got to have a happy place, Benny, and that's my happy place. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And just but just saying, what Jeremy does for a living,
Oh,
hounds have nothing.
here comes a rabbit hole. Go ahead. You better finish what you say first, because
I'm not even gonna read that because I read the first 4 words. I'm out.
no man like us.
I just said, typically, I mean, even like Benny at the moment, the food truck has nothing to do with the hound world, but it's a means for him to make some money to go do what he wants to do and what he loves. And I, knock on wood, have set up my business life to live both worlds at once, and I feel very blessed for that.
Hey, when I was welding, it was that way. I didn't even have to go to work and make money.
Yeah. So let's talk. So Wayne says, did you say 130,000 from you? I can't afford to look that stupid, but no one complains about the guy who buys $100,000 40-foot 3-axle travel trailer with $100,000 truck to pull it, with a $51,000 side-by-side that goes in the back of it, right? To use it what?
Okay.
3 times a year? 3 times a year? Maybe 6 times a year?
If we're gonna go down that rabbit hole, and yes, I understand a stud horse is different than a mule, but there are stud horse cutting horses that sell for over $1 million every year that people don't even hear about, don't bat an eye about. Yes.
But I guarantee you that $130,000 mule gets used more than that $300,000 worth of camping gear. Camping. They're camping, right? They're dragging their home out in the woods to camp. And I guarantee you that $140,000. Would I pay it? No. We already went through all this.
No.
Would I pay $20,000 for a hound? No.
But you know what? This isn't the guys that make $1 million a year podcast.
No. No.
Well,
because we wouldn't be sitting here on Wednesday night talking about it.
Except for this guy. Maybe. As hard as he works, he might be good.
Other side. That guy.
Other way.
I can be pretty stupid, so I mean, I ain't gonna say nothing on either one of those about what I buy.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about this last week. Don't let me forget. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I'm through.
Oh, Buddy posted the whole thing about Garmin wants you to. They want to take the middleman out, pretty much, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
pretty much, if it's not within the year scope of Garmin, anybody that's a dealer is out. You have to go directly to Garmin. That's what Garmin.
Well, I thought Buddy said you could handle it and send it to Garmin, but right
within the year, within Garmin's warranty.
So I got a caller over a year, and it's not doing nothing. I've updated it. It's just not reading. So I would just call Garmin and say, hey.
You have to deal directly with Garmin now.
And you fix this, and they're going to charge
you. Yeah, depending on it. They're going to fix it. They're going to charge you for it, and you get your collar back. Yes. From what I've been told, and I could be wrong because I'm not the size of dealer of Garmin that is, not even a fraction. But yeah, from what I gathered from it is they don't want dealers dealing with any warranty issues or any repairs outside of the year scope that Garmin provides the year warranty. But yes, and he is right. You know,
He's right, but let me tell you something about networking. If you call the guy you bought it from and you say, hey, I got this problem, you say, listen, send it to me, I take care of it, you got more business.
Yeah, it's in that aspect it does, and that's what Garmin is kind of taking away from them a little bit. And like me, I don't deal with it. I don't do like trade-ins or anything like that, so I don't deal with a whole lot of
You
it.
just sell the sons of bitches.
I sell new stuff. I don't bring in old stuff. I don't fix it. I don't have the resources to do that. Whereas like, you know, Buddy and yeah, and honestly, if you guys don't know who Suwannee Dog Supply is, you need to check him out.
They're based out of Florida.
They're out of Florida. They do a lot of hog dog stuff, but they're guys that you can get wormer, fish amoxicillin, stuff like that through. Shameless plug, great people to work with. I've talked to him about some medicine. He's the one that turned me on to the honey medicine, stuff like that. Great guy to deal with.
Shameless sell my soul. If you want to sponsor the Arizona Working Dog Alliance or this show, let me know. Because we don't make a dime off this either.
No, he's a great guy. Really, really enjoy him and I message back and forth. He's on the honey hole as well. And
hey, wait.
Even though he owns a business, never puts anything. People ask questions on the honey hole. He's quiet. He's just great guy to deal with. I will recommend him all day long.
Hey,
and I
Chris,
want half of that $20 he gave you to say this. That's all
I'm gonna pick on him because I don't know him, but he sponsors Not Normal Adventures.
All matters. So,
but yeah, I mean the Garmin thing. Garmin.
I gotta get that out of the way. I know it's gonna be a
great relationship. I really, as much as I haven't dove into the e-seek.
I was about to ask. That's my next question.
I haven't.
How good are these doing?
I've talked to Wade Hallcraft a lot about it, and I need to have a phone call with him about it even more in depth.
Who's that? Who's Wade?
Extender range antennas.
Okay.
So Wade Hallcraft. If you need anything to do with antennas for your Garmin, for your truck radio, collars, that is who I will go to. If you find antennas on my website, that is where they come from.
Gotcha.
They are the best that I have found. I've tested other things. They don't hold up as well as what Wade does. So it's houndrecovery.com, maybe houndrecoveryantennas.com. I'm not sure. Somebody will probably correct me in the comments. But if you're looking for Garmin antennas, whether it's a truck antenna or a handheld antenna or collar antennas, or your marine band or VHF radios that we're all talking about, you talk on the truck or the handhelds.
Yeah.
That's where you need to go. And he's the one that is bringing e-seek into the U.S. full-fledged.
Go ahead. I have a friend who knows somebody who has it. He says it's great, and he's going to order one.
So the biggest difference from what I've heard is that the maps are like Google Maps instead of your Garmin maps.
Houndrecoveryantennas.com, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Probably what it is. I just opened it. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, if that's what pulled up, yes.
Does it have a little bore for the?
Yep,
okay.
That's him. And so, if you see my videos, his antenna is mounted on the hood of my truck for my GPS, and the radio antenna is on the top of my truck. I won't run anything else. But
Guys, I'm going to bow out already. I got to get up in the morning and take that 44.5-foot toy hauler to the mountain so me and my help have a place to stay this weekend while we're cooking.
well, good for you, Benny.
Are
Be
you going?
careful,
Are you
I'm
Mr.
not.
doing that?
Benny.
Hey,
Are you doing?
I'm leaving the buggy at home. It's only for the beds.
Well, I'm glad we got to see it either way.
Next time you get this, close to this away, holler, and I might come a running.
6 months.
Be back in Canton.
Yeah.
I won't remember. But hit me up.
Wait, are you gonna make her to the rendezvous this year, Benny, or you got other engagements?
I don't know. Everything's looking pretty crazy.
Oh, I get it. I
Benny
understand.
don't know where he's going tomorrow. Sometimes he just shows up.
Well,
Well, yeah, it's like I was outside. So we have a cat that had kittens, and I don't know how she crawled up into the storage part of the camper and the glamper. And so I was in there fishing, taking everything apart, trying to find, and well, ends up those kittens are down in the underbelly.
Ugh.
I'm not doing that kind of surgery, so I'm just hauling a bunch of stupid ass kittens to the mountain. They're gonna live or die. That's what I was doing that, and Diane said, "Hey, I heard your phone beeping, and we're waiting to hear back from some of the help." And she said the newspaper guy called. They're gonna feature my wagon in the newspaper again. Some of the I don't know what the heck it is. And Chris wants to know if you're getting on. I said, "Oh shit, it's been over a month. I better go in the house."
I did.
Well, we're glad.
I don't want Bone Pile. I don't want Bone Pile to be the only welder on here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't even know if he is the only welder, even if he is the only welder on here.
Who knows?
He's the only
Anyway,
bone
it's
pile
there you
on
go.
here.
There you go.
Alrighty.
It's good. Hey, and my mules aren't that expensive, but I got into the safe and got my paperwork, and I've got one that's 23 and one that's 26, and they're still going, and they got more experience than those $100,000 ones.
Zero doubt.
So I'll trade these mules in for some young horses.
There you go.
You guys have a good evening.
You
Have a
too,
good
Mr. Benny.
Oh, Madison the welder too.
Oh, there you go.
Well, good. When she gets over here and moves over here, I got some work for her.
Don't say that. Jared will move in with you.
Oh,
He's been sending me pictures. He still knows how to weld.
so now we go to dogs. Talked about food, vets, clothing, equipment, technology. Basically, we just got over technology, and hopefully these. I would really like to see these e-seek work, only because Garmin head's too god dang big, and they need to.
And
Well, here's their percentage
garbage.
of houndsmen. Here's their percentage of people who go out to the lakes and boats, and
Yep.
so we're nobody. We're like under 10% of what their commerce is.
No, but they've had zero competition other than in Dogtra.
It's like having one NASCAR on the racetrack.
Yeah,
Gonna win.
Well, they're just like Motorola. They're a big monopoly.
Yeah, Garmin's had a monopoly on it for a lot of years. Dogtra come in, and I think they put a hair of a dent in it. I've never been around Dogtra.
It's garbage.
Deal with it, but
Dogtra's garbage. Some people like that. Some people love it.
This is your controller. I mean,
yeah,
so,
and
you're depending on how long the battery on this lasts.
Exactly. So, like Derek, back a while ago, I remember Derek saying like he used to have to carry those power banks just to power his phone while he was hiking to hunt his dogs, and that I wasn't a fan of. So I never really have dove into it. I know, on your phone the maps are nice; they're good to deal with, and I think that's where the e-seek that's coming in it is going to bridge that gap a little bit. I know guys that run it and love it, and I've talked to other guys that say it's definitely a learning curve, and they don't like it compared to Garmin, and that's just personal.
Garmin's user friendly. I mean,
Very much.
that, you know, it's similar to a smartphone. And I looked at the eSeek the other day, and it looks more like
It's
it's
more
got
of an,
buttons.
eSeek is more of like an Android style versus an iPhone. I think the best way to compare them is,
I
is
think
Garmin's
you're right.
phone, eSeek is an Android. But that's personal preference, and once you get used to one, it's hard to go to the other, and unless you're really going to put your mind to it and say you're going to learn it and go from there. I do think there's some features on the eSeek that are better than Garmin, and I also think there's some things, at least from what I've talked to from guys, that vice versa. So the one thing, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I know guys have figured out how to use on the eSeek that if your dogs are treed, you can click a button and you can listen and actually hear your dogs. And that's a very.
Can you talk to them?
No, you can't talk to them. You can just hear them. And
I need where I can talk to them. I may hook a damn radio up to them.
Get off that monkey.
I think that's a part for some guys where it crosses a technological line that is taking away from the sport. If that makes sense. Some guys have been like, no, if my tracker's telling me my dogs are treed, I want to trust in that they're treed and not have this fail safe that, oh, I can listen to them and they're just full of shit, or they're laying there because they're tired. I think you got to be able to trust in your dogs and know that what they're doing is right, and where it goes from there. And that's how much technology is too
much. Yeah.
Yes. Like,
Well,
I don't
we've
know
talked about that. What is that taking away from the houndsman? Period.
And that's the thing, whether you use that system and don't use that feature or not, it's all up into the people. But definitely guys that the younger generation for sure are gonna be like, oh, like that's cool as shit. My dogs are treed. I can click a button and I can listen and hear all these dogs treeing and know they're hammering. Oh, they can see it. Good deal. Or it says they're treed because they made a lose and they don't know how to decipher the difference between a lose in a tree or a bay up in a tree. And they're going to use that to rely on it versus get in there and figure it out kind of deal. I don't know.
Ben Lilly had the first GPS system known to man. That's because he went deaf and he tied a dog to his belt loop, and he followed that dog and watched which way he was looking.
Yeah, very much so.
I think I'm onto something here. I think I'm gonna purchase a bunch of those little ham radios and build some little heavy duty leather cases to put them in and strap them to their collars so I can scream at them.
Yeah.
Get them turned around instead of having to shock them all the time.
Yeah.
I got one that knows the boundary lines. He'll run straight to it, hit a road, go all the way to all four corners and come back. And then he'll zigzag the property.
Yeah. Well, and like Shane's saying, in different countries, like back here, we don't deal with gators, but it could be that if a dog, let's say you're running a bear, dogs have been walking a bear or whatever, and you have a dog that splits off and it says it's treed. And let's be honest, the bark detector on Garmin is never 100% accurate.
Mine never works.
Never. So whether he's laying there and it says he's treed barking 60 barks a minute or 0 barks a minute, it would be nice from what he's saying to click that on and listen, and you know what? That dog's silent. Maybe something's wrong. Versus this is a dog by himself. The collar's not saying he's barking, but you click that on, and the sumbitch is hammering, like just flat out hammering. You know,
Look at the advantages of it and the disadvantages of it.
but that's with any bit of technology.
Oh yeah,
There's always good parts to it. There's bad parts to
and
it.
there's always going to be that argument.
Very much so. And so I don't know. I've talked to Wade a little bit. I need to talk to him more. I'd like to get one in my hands and really hammer it to the test like some of these other guys have done. But the hard part is right now I can't do that. I'm not hunting to be able to really push it. You know, so maybe August I'll get with him and get a couple collars and run double collars with it, because I know there was the whole deal with the frequency that it runs on, that technically the FCC is illegal, and they're changing that.
Is it illegal, or can you get a license for it?
No, I think it's illegal because it runs on the same frequency as some of the emergency bands.
Well, sometimes it might be an emergency, damn it.
Listen, I grew up with a Yaesu, so we jumped those bands to talk.
We have alligators here.
I know how to modify one to make it run on any frequency you want, but
yep,
you know, it's just that was one of the big hang-ups that Buddy did a video about, is that the frequency it runs on is technically illegal, and people get in trouble for using it and selling it. And so Wade's been really pretty diligent about working with the people overseas. I mean, and everybody's like, oh, it comes from China. Guess what? Garmin's made in China.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson, half the stuff in a Harley Davidson's made in China.
Every piece of Garmin is made in China. So if you're against that, Garmin's the same way.
That was my favorite thing with TikTok. Oh, China's getting all your information. Where do you think these are made?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Taiwan. Yep.
Yeah, China, Taiwan.
Asia. Come on, Shane.
Sorry.
Busting our balls. We gave you free plugs here.
But yeah, it's, you know, and that was it. And the customer service side of it, until it gets established over here, is definitely going to be delayed. For sure.
Well, do they speak English? Are they friendly? Are they, who are you going to have to deal with? Do you have to ship it back?
And that's where Wade's kind of coming in, saying it's going to be with him, that, yeah, you'll send it to him and he's going to have to ship it back. It's going to be a little delayed until things get figured out. And that's where Garmin kind of has a leg up. You'll have to be more patient, and all us hound doggers are so patient.
Oh, yeah,
but,
we are.
But,
like when the dogs turn right and you think the line goes left, you don't pull them off.
Or when you have 8 dogs go one way and 2 go the other way, and very impatient about which ones you think should be going the right way.
And it's the 2 that you don't trust that are going one way. You're like, I don't know about that. And it's the 2 that you don't trust that end up catching something.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk about dogs. You start off with pups, or do you just go buy a dog? Buying a dog ain't exactly the best way sometimes, because you can go buy a dog and it lasts 3 days.
Yeah. But a guy that just buys pups can go through and ruin a lot of dogs before he figures out the right way to make a dog.
Casey said, just keep up with your damn dogs.
Yeah.
You don't need all that technology.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, that gets into the overrated, right?
Yep.
Jared used an Alpha 10.
He still
what it does? It says dogs that way.
This way.
And he used it so much. Didn't Kyle buy one?
Oh, Kyle's ran one all the time too. He's never had anything different.
Who wanted one? I think Casey wanted. Somebody wanted to buy one because Jared had one.
Casey wanted to buy one because, he's, always handing it back to me saying, here, figure this thing out.
If you look around, Tim, Well, I don't know if that's Tim. I think that is Tim. You go look around and you'll find a set of collars that I bought a whole bunch of sets. I got 20 or 30
I
collars.
still have a set.
I do because everybody sold them. Garmin came out, $400, 10 collars in a box.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Same thing with we talked about insurance, AAA. Why don't people buy insurance on their dog? It's $6 a month. It's not much. Like it's the same with the beep beep collar. Why don't you got a beep beep collar on your dogs? You probably won't need it.
I have two
Most
collars
people-
that have interference if they're put on with the Garmin collars.
I do know one thing about Garmin is there's a way that you can hook them up. You could pick up their frequency on your ham radio if you have one in your truck.
Well, it can interfere. So you'll be driving around not using your radio and you'll hear ticking on your radio. It's because you have a Garmin collar that's close. It took me like 3 months to figure out what collar it was, and I kept changing them all because that drives me damn crazy while I'm driving.
Yep.
Every
But
3 seconds.
No, he's close.
But like you say, just yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like everything else. It's too convenient.
It is.
Casey's right. Look, we ought to just get back to the basics and just quit using them.
Well, and that's the hard part. And I hate to.
All you really need is something that says, "Hey, he's over there."
And I, like I said, I hate to admit it, but I've been around the beep beep collars, but I got into hounds damn near 20 years ago, and that is exactly when Garmin came out with their very first system. So me being young, 19 years old, getting into hounds, I see a tracking system for dogs that's a GPS. That's what I bought. And I've had it ever since. Never owned a set of beep beep collars. Been around them, seen how they worked, and saw how my Garmin worked, and I was like, hell with that shit. But,
I remember turning dogs loose with nothing on but the collar they had around their neck.
Oh, he's talking
high
about
high dollar dogs, or they would be today, And
he's talking about.
You're not thinking nothing else about it.
Yeah.
And then, the big yaggy antennas, took two people to hold it up. And then they got smaller and smaller, and then they got to where they were on a stick. You didn't have to have the big box. And then I also remember when Garmin come out.
Yep.
I still got a 220 over here on the shelf.
Well, that's the first one I had was a 220 and a DC 20.
I've only had mine. I used that 220 all the way up to 2 years ago. You want to know why? Because when I was out there and there's other houndsmen out there on my DC 30s, there was no interference.
Yeah.
And they still work. They probably still work today. I just kind of retired it, but it never really failed me. And even if you're running, even if you're new and you got a 220, some DC 30s or even 40s, you're going to get to a point the high point somewhere, and you're going to pick that dog up, and it's going to tell you where he last was.
Yeah.
It's going to pick him up, and then you can go that way, pick him up again.
Yeah.
They're handy. I didn't have nothing when I started, man. Nothing. I went years and years without a shock collar or any collars at all.
Well, just like if you look at Shane's comment down below,
yeah,
Florida is required to. See, we're required to have it on, like, game recovery dogs, but not, as far as I know, regular hunting dogs, no. But a game recovery dog, that's a mandatory requirement, or a leash.
Yep.
And whoever wrote that in there has never tracked any type of game in the state of Louisiana, because it's just like Florida. It's thick.
Yeah.
Just imagine tying a dog to a leash and walking through Manzanita.
Oh, hell. Especially one that's pushing and wanting to go where it needs
or
to
pulling your, snatching your, it's not leash broke.
I wish they had a law here that said you had to have them on, because then they couldn't do what they did in California and pull them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it that could be a catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Either way,
And that's the
I'm
thing.
not against it or for it. I liked it when they introduced that to the game recovery because that
Yeah.
damn leash law was stupid.
The leash law is kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's a hard one to deal with. But
Yeah.
wow.
I just tied one on that's about 4 foot long and turned him loose. Just a piece of paracord tied to a snap. He's on a leash.
I tripped, he got away.
Dang.
I think that,
It's a felony charge in Florida if someone removes your collar.
Yeah.
That's the way it needs to be everywhere.
that's
Hey.
where it should be.
A high grade felony.
Yep.
Yeah, not some slap on the wrist.
Lose your driver's license for life or something.
I think the only thing that's not overrated is good dogs, good friends, and times in the woods. Honestly.
And a campfire. Gotta add that in there.
A guy that comes into this life like I did at 19 years old, and the people I now associate with, people I talk to, my friends, 90% of them are in the hound world, and I wouldn't change it.
If you're coming in new, find somebody, find that good circle.
Yeah, some of the best people, some of my best friends that I deal with and still talk to today are because of hounds.
Yeah.
That's about the only people I associate with.
Yeah, like you find
outside of work.
Yeah, you find your people and you find that circle, and and I'm a weirdo. I'm one of those guys that I will talk to a lot of people about dogs, but when it comes to hunting with me and my dogs, I'm very particular. Very particular.
It's when I hunt with somebody with dogs first, I really don't. I'll take my dogs, but if we're just bear hunting, I'll let them do their thing and watch them first before I let my dogs go.
And I get that way. I'm pretty particular and pretty protective, but I have my few buddies that I know. Hey, doesn't matter any day of the week, any day of the year, we can go drop dogs together, and our dogs are going to get along. It's going to be fine.
There's people like Undercover. He was just getting into it. And I really thought that's why he's undercover, because he's just like poking around. If you guys see Undercover, he's a flat brim wearing.
Not
he
just
looks like he should be on a Harley.
It was like this the first time I met him.
He's watching, but he didn't know nothing. And I mean, I got a point. We show up to a bear tree with it, and I'm like, I'm yelling at him, let your dogs go.
Yeah.
Just let them go. They ain't going nowhere.
So you started him, Chris. I ruined him.
Yeah.
I don't know if I started him good. I know I got him on some trees, and that's about it. So, I mean,
I got him top-notch armadillo dog, and so.
Oh yeah, there you go. I always forget. Oh, what'd you make me? You made me sandwich. Oh, you call me fat, then make me sandwich. My wife does.
About that time.
Oh. Yeah. So, are you going to set up a booth at the Rendezvous this year?
Me?
Yeah.
I'd like to. I'm still trying to figure out my logistics of that time of the year at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Planning on it.
Speaking of logistics, I think the damn screwworm crisis messed my plans up.
Oh, I was going to talk about that real quick.
That's some bad stuff.
Because I can take them out of state, but I don't know if I can bring them back in.
Yeah.
They hadn't quite figured that out yet. So
yeah,
that's going to kind of suck if they start doing that crap.
Yep.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming. And it's only a matter of time before they find one here.
Yep.
And if you guys ever look, there's a podcast someone did, might have been Meat Eater, that talks about that screwworm and how they sterilize flies, and it's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy. So we'll see what happens with that. They're gonna. I don't even know how you would check a dog or verify.
Well, that's
they
what
don't-
they're trying to work out now, is trying to get the check stations or figure out if that's what they're going to do, or pretty much if they're on some sort of flea and tick preventative, they're pretty much not going to be affected.
Yeah.
Now like you get dogs with severe lacerations and cuts and stuff, that's the ones that are more susceptible.
Well, they also said though that they don't need to have a cut. They'll go through their eyes or their nose or something.
I mean, a needle prick is what I read, just like giving them a shot. But I don't know. I think a lot of that crap is ad lib. And
yeah, I don't know, Cody. When I was over there, I was looking for him.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him.
Well, there you have it. Everything's underrated. Everything's overrated. Everything you could put on a pair of tennis shoes or Hey Dukes or Skechers or whatever you got and throw. I hunted with Destry Hot, and he had a flatbed and he had chains all like he just threw a rope around it, tied his dogs to it, and went hunting. So it don't take much, and he's just in a old farm.
It just comes to what you're after and what you can do, and if a guy all he can afford is a truck, a chain, a dog, and some cheap dog food, he's going to do it. If a guy can afford a different truck with a dog box and a few more dogs, he's going to do it. So it's all in what you're capable of and where you get started, and
you
one
always got to have that one more.
Yeah. The only problem is we're all going to want more, and we're all going to want to hunt more, and that's the bad gist of it.
I think a lot of the new guys like that shiny box, that new truck, the image, the shiny collars. But in the end, a wood box, a nasty truck.
It's all in what you're in it for. The old guy that you pass that's got a wood-built dog box with dogs in it is in it for a whole different reason than the young kid that's got a brand new truck with a shiny dog box full of dogs. They could be in it for the same reason. They could be in it for different reasons. And unless you stop and talk to them, you'll never know.
That's right there.
So
just take 10 minutes to evaluate the dude.
Yeah, and that's just, it is what it is. We're all in it for different reasons. We all have a love for the dogs. We all have a love for the game we pursue. But Jeremy's reasons, your reasons, and my reasons could be the same, could be 100% different, and it doesn't make it any worse or better.
Yep. And I think it crosses the line with each person too.
Oh, yeah. You and I can have some things in common and some not. Chris and I can have some things in common and some not. And it's all so different but relevant at the same time. And that's what people got to realize is, that young kid, whether he's in it for the right reasons or not, he has his reasons.
Yeah.
Whether the old boy that's getting into it at 65 years old has his reasons that are the right reasons that you think are not, they're still his reasons.
Yeah.
And that's where we all get to find our balance and work together from there.
And it's way different from back east than it is over here in the west.
Very much so.
Very different.
And that's the dogs are different, the hunting's different, everything's different, and that's where we all got to kind of look at it in a different light, for sure. Yeah. So with that,
there we go. I think we're done.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep, appreciate it.
Hopefully someone learned something from our shit.
Whether it's bullshit or not, it's shit.
Yep. That's what we're gonna say. Thank you, Dustin.
Yep.
Jeremy, thanks for jumping on too.
Anytime.
Mm-hmm. So let everybody know the Hound Rendezvous, August 21st, 23rd. You can go to azhhr.com. Jeremy be there signing autographs from Louisiana Hunting YouTube channel.
I don't know about all that.
Well, sounded good. Made you sound important. So
I see who's more important. You know, I saw the comment over a while ago. You posted Cody's video before you posted ours.
you know, I thought it was gonna. It's just a talking video too. Like I didn't know if it was gonna be too boring for people. I'm working on them. I'm working on it.
Hell, I didn't post one this week either, so
No, I have some other ones
there's
to
too
post.
much going on.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to be a sponsor of the At the Rendezvous or sponsor the Rendezvous, azhhr.com. If you want to sponsor Arizona Working Dog Alliance or become a member, you should all be members, azwda.com. And you guys got any ideas for the show, any rabbit hole ideas, you can send me an email at freecastingpodcast@gmail.com. How's that? Anything else? I think that's it.
Damn screwworms.
Hound trials in Arizona are this weekend. So if you look up Central Arizona Trailhound Association on Facebook, you'll find it. So it's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We get there Friday. So you guys want to come just hang out or bring your dogs and see what they can do? I will be down there Friday. So, and I'll feed you some tacos.
20-year-old tacos.
Nah, I'm out of that stuff. I'm down to, I think it's all new stuff.
10 years old.
Yeah, it's all 10-year minus stuff. I think it's 8 years. I've been canning some more. So, all right, Jeremy.
Casey will be glad to hear that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring a roast and cook it right in front of them.
A bear roast.
Fresh meat. Yeah.
A bear roast.
He don't like elk. I'll just get him a pork roast, make some pork tamales down there. So, all right, Jeremy, appreciate you. We'll see you guys
Till next week.
We'll see you guys next week. Remember, keep your powder dry and stay safe out there.
Well, bye.